So I wanted to know, who do you think would win in a hockey fight? Prime Rush or Prime Bare Naked Ladies?
Oh, bare naked ladies, for sure.
What?
Rush.
In a fight?
I mean,
Okay, whoa.
In
Are we
a
like
fight?
physical
In a
fight?
physical
Okay, wait,
fight?
because Geddy Lee is pretty lanky. Welcome to Room 6, the channel dedicated to local music wherever it may be found, and the people that make it, including my guests. And my guests are a dapper indie rock group based out of Ottawa, Ontario. One of a few Canadian bands I've actually interviewed. They're another TikTok find. I've been finding a lot of cool local, music on TikTok. Known for delivering anthem-like ballads fused with garage rock, their single Mission Control, which is a live acoustic version of it, is out now. Please welcome to the channel, the new hires. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome to the party. So, first off, love the name, but why did you call yourself the new hires?
I think there was a sentiment, like we went through the whole idea of going through the generators. We went through, I think, maybe 6 or 7 ideas, and then finally I think the new hires stuck because there was this sentiment, and I think, Phil, you're the best at describing this one, but the sentiment that we were all kind of hired through Kijiji, which is like the Canadian Craigslist. We all found ourselves through that.
Nice.
Yeah, we all like auditioned for the band in some like way, sense, or form. Like in every iteration that this band was before it became the new hires per se, and then like just throughout growing the band into its current lineup is we've all met each other through an audition process at some point. So it's kind of like, yeah, it was kind of serendipitous that we were like cooking through name generators. Like, I don't know, we had like Pinger and some other questionable ones. And then we were just like, the new hires. I can't, I don't know where it exactly came from, but it was like, it kind of all makes sense. We all found each other through some internet forum or audition process. So kind of like, it suits, and then we turned it into a brand as well, so it's kind of
with actual suits.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you guys definitely are, I won't say overdressed, but you're the best dressed band I've had in a while. Where did that thought process of, let's really, dress up in our nines to come from?
Yeah, it came from the general idea that we just didn't want to kind of roll out of bed and go to play a show. Like, just thinking about the overall experience, like for us, we don't know what to wear to begin with. So it was easier to just kind of find an outfit and identity. And the cool thing about it, I think, as the years progress and as we kind of developed through it and tried different looks, it's just kind of, it feels like you're part of a team. And it's kind of like a Clark Kent moment where you feel like you're jumping into an outfit. So generally, it just became kind of like part of our identity, and it allowed us to kind of be, I guess, bigger than what like our daily lives might be, right?
Yeah,
right.
It does kind of separates you. It is nice. Like, it's almost like putting on the jersey. You're going out to play in the playoffs, and you're like, okay, I'm putting on my jersey. Like, now I'm in game mode. Like, let's go. It kind of enables you to put on a better performance because you're kind of in that Clark Kent moment. You're like, I'm me, but I'm also like
an augmentation of yourself.
Yeah. You kind of it's nice to kind of separate it, and it helps you get into that mindset too. And it's we're on 3, I guess, in a way, but we're kind of like what's next is it kind of gives you a nice challenge. Like, okay, we have this aesthetic as a whole band. So now here's our new project. So how are we going to aesthetically rise to that challenge or whatever? So yeah, it's nice to have it kind of consistent across the brand.
Nice. I'm reminded of that scene from The Bear where Richie puts on his suit and he says, "It feels like I'm wearing armor." And he's like, "It is armor."
Yeah. Spoiler alert. No.
Anybody? Spoiler alert. It was last season.
Yes, Jeff.
Anybody who's worked at all in customer service understands that feeling of like, this is my work outfit. You can't hurt me.
Especially around the holiday season.
All right. By the way, if you want to be like the new hires, be featured on the channel, whether reviewed, interviewed, or both, hit me up using my email address down below or by clicking the Room 6 social media link. That's where you'll find all the things that I'm up to online, ways you can support the channel financially should you so decide, such as room6.shop for merch, and more. While you're at it, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It all helps, and I thank you. All right, that's my YouTube shtick out of the way. Back to you guys. So, I'm going to start with a kind of a more usual interview question. Room 6, OGs, they know what's coming. I want to talk about your earliest musical influence. And by that, I mean, do you remember a moment where you said, I want to do that?
Yeah, go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, for me, it was watching. I was either like 12 to 14-year-old and watching a band called Coheed and Cambria out in Montreal.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the crowd just moshing, and then at one point you kind of like have that moment when you like step out a little bit of the bubble of the crowd and you see all the people around you and you see that they're all just like in the moment with you. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to get people together in that moment from like the stage perspective.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jack, want to try to top that?
Sure.
Throws it
I guess. I think probably for me, when I was in high school, I did I loved music before this and played a lot with friends just in a basement. But I did a little exchange to France, and I spent a lot of time by myself. Started taking out all these CDs from the library there, and that's where I kind of discovered like the Strokes. So in my head, I just have this montage of like taking buses around France as like a 15-year-old listening to, the Strokes and Arctic Monkeys and that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I think that really struck me in a specific way that's remained with me. And it's just made me a total musical addict ever since.
I remember going to in the Civic Center in Ottawa. It was like Billy Talent, Alexis on Fire, Cancer Bat. I can't remember who the other band was.
What a lineup, though.
But yeah, I remember I worked at the mall at it's called Mark's Work Warehouse. I don't know. It's like a workwear store that they were like, we also sell blouses. Come on in. And I remember there was like someone across the way, and she worked at Videoflex, and she was like, oh, I listen to these bands and my friends would go to shows sometime. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just like a kid from the country. I was like, yeah, I'll come. And then just remember seeing like my first rock show from like the Pit. Like, oh my God, like all these people are here for this band. And like, I like them, but I never thought it was like that big. And that was my first like, holy crap, seeing Alexis on Fire right there. And I was like, man, this would be insane being on the stage. That's when I was like, oh, okay. If I play music and get good at it.
It's all scheme.
Yeah, I see how this works. So, but that was game changing. That like, your first mosh pit experience when you're like, why are people slamming their bodies into me? And why is it fun? And why do I want to keep doing it? It's like you kind of like experience music, you listening to it on the CD or whatever back then, and then you go to the show and you're like, oh my God, this is a totally different experience. It's so immersive. So to be on either side of it is such a cool experience. To give people that experience, but also be part of that experience at the same show is amazing.
Which like a quick aside, like it's funny how much of like metal, hardcore, post-hardcore influences we have for the type of music we play. Like we're like, because I would say like for me it would be going to see Alexis on Fire, Billy Talent, Against Me, and Cancer Bats at the
Capital City.
I can't remember what it was, but just going to see it, same idea, just kind of seeing someone on stage and just the ability to capture a moment with people and just kind of share that. Like you don't realize it in that moment when you're younger. You just kind of like, you're like, whoa, what is this? And now like that we get the opportunity to perform, there's moments where you just kind of, you get those glimpses of it and you're like, oh my, that's why you do it. It's so cool.
Yeah. Are we going through the whole band or?
I mean, that was the idea.
Oh, okay.
Everybody but Aiden.
So I guess my story is a little bit different in that I think I was around 13, grade 8, and my buddies were starting a band. I didn't really know anything about music. per se. I was raised a good Catholic boy and listening to VeggieTales and such. And and yeah, so they said we're starting a band. You're playing bass, and so I went out on found myself a bass, and we played our high school. Eventually, we worked up to high school. We were 14 and played our talent show, and at that point in time, nobody else wanted to sing, so I was trying to sing, and we played some Strokes songs.
Okay.
And I forgot all the words, and it was really bad. But that experience, I was hooked. I was just, yeah, that was the beginning of the end, I guess. That's how it started.
Nice.
Yeah.
So from your earliest musical influence, which for more than one of you, it was like kind of a live show situation that included moshing. I wanted to ask, what's your most memorable moment, good or bad, performing as the new hires? And it could be where you checked off some rock star wish list things, somebody went to jail, or it totally went off the rails. What do you got that is it? This is your story at a party. Say this one time at a show.
I've got a good one.
Bring it.
So this is kind of a bad one. So I was playing with one of our friends' bands, and turned out that the lead singer of our friend's band, No Hits, they're no longer around. Rest in peace, but we love him. He's wearing the same pair of shoes I am. This is a detail that's important later. Anyway, I go out with the drummer before our set, and he's like, let's go smoke a joint. So, and this guy pulls out, it must have been as thick as my thumb, and we smoke all of it. So I'm absolutely like cooked like a cake up there on stage, and we make it through. I think it might have been our first or second show. It was really bad. Anyway, later on in the night when they're playing, the lead singer shouts me out. He's like, "Oh, and thanks Aiden for coming out, and like you're so great." And he passes me the mic, and I say, "Why did you steal my shoes?" Because we're wearing the same shoes. Anyway,
Nice.
The Ottawa scene in a nutshell.
Next.
Oh, I mean, well, there was the show we had in Ottawa, like our first when we did the tour, and like,
oh, that was crazy.
that was just chaos. Like, yeah, everybody was stage diving. There was people signing body parts and people doing other things to body parts and ambulances, and
There was definitely drugs.
there was all kinds of it was just crazy.
Wait. Ambulances, plural.
Ambulance
For sure.
Yeah, I think a girl got her stomach pumped.
Yeah, let's go parentheses S. We can't confirm or deny multiple ambulances. I think
The new hire shows are a safe place. There is no.
we have medical services.
We
on
do
it.
not.
Yeah, it was just like the energy. Like, it was a good lineup, and it was the start. It was like our first tour, and it was just chaos, but it was fun. It was like respectful, and some people when people don't know where the line is, and that's fine. They saw their journey through,
They
but
figure it out.
it was.
Well, we made sure they made it home safe.
Yeah.
So.
But it was just fun to that we're really fortunate in Ottawa. Like the music scene here is bar to none. Like it's insane. Just a collaboration and the support. Like the blue ocean mentality is like we can all succeed. So it's just as exciting to like go see our buddies play than it is for us to play. Like, and then if you can combine that and then you get a show like that was just like insane. People are literally hanging off balconies and
going on tour with your friends and stuff. It's awesome.
It's just like it's such a good time. It's fun when everybody's just trying to like better each other but are respectful. So yeah, it's just a good time. No matter what the show, it's just epic every time.
Nice. Did we get everybody?
I didn't go. Did you go, Christian? Did we miss you?
No, I was trying to figure out something.
I
It
can-
sucked. All this. No, just joking. No, if
Uh,
you have to, go ahead.
I mean, I'm the newest hire, so I haven't seen the sort of pandemonium-like scenes that are being described here. So, yeah, thankfully I was spared, but it sounds like it was a good time.
He's a wee bear.
Yeah. But I'd have to say, I mean, they're all we all always find some way to make them all fun, but to have joined this band probably 5 months before we played our biggest show ever at the Bronson Center in Ottawa, which is quite a beautiful, important venue in the city. Just felt surreal, and it felt like I kind of just lucked into something, and perfect timing. It's all really it's thanks to the hard work that they've put in for years. But I mean, the sound was amazing. I thought we played great, and it was the end of like a sort of 3-day mini stint to kind of warm up, which was just intense, and we just had. I don't know. We were so excited. It was awesome. I really liked it.
Nerve-wracking the whole time. You're just kind of leading up to every show to the biggest show we've played. So
We headlined it too, which was crazy. And I was talking to the promoter afterward, and he said it was the biggest all local show in Ottawa since '89.
Nice.
He's been around since the dawn of time, apparently. So we love you, Sean.
To add to that, I'd say like I was trying to think of a moment, like there is like Dragon Boat Festival where we play like the first time on like a big stage. But one of the moments where like I felt like I checked off like a rock star or like a musician like check mark was when we played Spectrum Festival, which was the first time Jack I think played with us, and it was this tiny festival on the block street, and there was maybe like 15 people on a Tuesday night or something. But then it just started to pour rain, and these people were just still out there with us, and it was like the first time where you're playing and you're like, okay, this is the real deal. It's like no rain or shine, you just keep going. And these guys were just soloing up front, and I was sitting on the drums, and I was like, I kind of want to be in the rain too.
I didn't. It was you can't really be epic playing bass in the rain, but a guitar solo when you're like getting rained on is pretty sick, I gotta say. So I was happy to be in this.
In the rain.
Yeah.
The lyrics are next song.
Exactly.
As a former frontman and guitarist, I can definitely like playing in the rain makes it real interesting. But until you get that shock from the microphone, with facial hair, then you're like, okay, I need to not eat the mic. Got it. Right on. So, from there, speaking of the big shows and everything, what's the next big thing on the horizon that fans need to know about?
So we got quite a bit. There's a couple things that I don't think we can announce just yet, but up in the
Come on.
all the secrets. No, we so the main things, we have a bunch of shows coming up. The first one, we're playing in our hometown this Friday at the Rainbow Bistro, and then we're heading out to Toronto June 12th to play North by Northeast. And then we're playing in Guelph afterwards the next day on the 13th. And then finally, we're playing the Beer Fest in Kingston on June 14th. So we got a little bit of a run there. And we just worked on an EP not too long ago, and we're slowly going to be releasing that within the next coming months. So those are the main things I think to look forward to, at least in the next coming months. We have a bunch of stuff. I think we're starting to book up into March next year.
Yeah. And our single comes out Friday.
Single comes out Friday as well.
Yeah, on the 23rd, and then we're gonna try and go to a single album. I think something like that release.
We want to get a vinyl. That's the goal.
Bucket list. Gotta
Nice.
vinyl.
May I make a suggestion? Have the record, the vinyl itself, have it be like those name tag stickers on it with with like the name of the album, the credits. Maybe maybe the names of the band. I don't know. Just thought.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a T-shirt that has the name tag.
Oh, nice.
A name tag logo. Yeah.
People love those ones. I think we sold all of them.
Yeah. I'd buy another one.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
That's how you know you. Wait, what? You can't buy your own.
Yeah.
Speaking of upcoming stuff, stick around. After the interview, we're going to be seeing a music video from. What is the music video we're going to be seeing?
So we're going to be seeing a snippet of Me, Myself, and Lies. It's our new upcoming single.
There we go. And incidentally, guys, when the EP is ready to drop, I'd love a chance to do a review video of it that I can coincide and post like the day that it drops.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Send it my way. You know how. And with that, I'm going to ask probably a divisive question. We're going to go back into a little Canadian musical history here, okay?
Oh.
I noticed that none of you mentioned as your earliest musical influences bands from a certain era that were from Canada. So I wanted to know, who do you think would win in a hockey fight? Prime, Rush, or Prime, Bare Naked Ladies?
Oh, Bare Naked Ladies, for
No.
sure.
What?
Rush.
In a fight?
I mean,
Okay, whoa.
Are we
like
like
physical
fight?
Okay, wait, we're
because Geddy Lee is pretty lanky.
I know, but
No,
he's
but-
like, I know. Neil Peart wouldn't hurt a fly.
But if he did,
Alex Crow, but no, I mean you're talking about Downey and the Boys. Come on, it's wait,
No, Bare Naked Ladies.
Bare
not
Naked
the
Ladies. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bare-
no,
BNL,
those guys,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they've got more
You're gonna mix
members.
with
I
that
Ed,
admit.
Tyler, those guys
He-
can throw down. No,
you-
sorry, it's Bare Naked
You
Ladies.
primed him for legendary Canadian band, and he, no matter what, he was going to hear Tragically Hip. Literally. Yeah.
But no,
No.
those guys. It was definitely Kevin.
Spinal Tap
and
or-
Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a dial to 11 now.
I mean, I would
Okay, so
love.
you're Bare Naked Ladies.
I mean, I mean, Rush. I love my boys in Rush, but
I think Rush is winning.
no, not
Really?
a fight. I mean, it's just numbers. It's 5-on-3.
I'm thinking
Straight up.
Bare Naked Ladies. I think there's more of them, isn't there?
Oh, there's way more of them.
There's like 5 of them
There's
Well,
5
yeah,
of them. Yeah.
five,
There's
five,
five?
5, 6,
Yeah.
depending.
versus 3. Like they got no. I love Rush. Don't get me wrong, but
Right. Well, but then again, I mean, for numbers, you got SBNL, but for like stamina, I remember Rush is putting on like marathon shows,
this
and
is true.
like think about all that Geddy Lee did in the band.
Yeah.
I feel like they might outlast.
Okay,
outlast
He's a big kid. He
it.
can hit around. He's
It
got
was a
mobility.
flick fight. Geddy Lee would win. But I mean,
I mean, and
I love
never
my
mind
boys.
if like if Neil Peart gets a hockey stick and it breaks in two and he's got sticks in his hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
true. Okay, this is on skates. True.
Okay, so wait.
Oh man,
Bare
that's a
Naked
whole new
Ladies,
dimension.
Rush. Bare Naked Ladies.
I would go Rush.
All right, Jack, who'd you say again?
I gotta go Rush. And you
Rush
know
wins.
Neil Peart would never hurt a fly, you'd think, but you feel like he's
Self-defense.
not someone you ever wanted to piss off.
But Josh,
you
who
know?
do you think?
Honestly, I think Brian Adams would go. No, just kidding.
Brian Adams from the top row.
Yeah, the sound of breaking glass.
I'm gonna run to you.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, the realist in me says Bare Naked Ladies, but I would love to see Geddy Lee just like dropping the elbow on somebody. Center
Oh,
ice.
I mean, fighting soundtrack for sure. Rush.
Yeah.
Every time, right?
Right.
Oh, Earth Song.
Interesting bit of this little side note. By the way, thanks for hanging in with that tangent if you did. But I heard something where like the height of Rush's heyday, Neil Peart went and took drum lessons because he was like, I'm missing a lot of fundamentals. Did you hear that?
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Imagine being that
Rings a
teacher
bell.
and getting approached by Neil Peart. It's like, I need somebody to help me with my basics. And meanwhile, you got like
Oh my God.
posters of him on the wall and stuff. Anyway, but I digress.
Oh.
Couple
Dude,
more
I highly
questions.
recommend. Honestly, I take a week off every year, like as a vacation, and just I take a guitar course every year, and it improves my guitar playing. Any musicians out there, like it's worth taking the time to practice.
Honestly,
It makes you better. It's crazy.
To quote my 17-year-old daughter, honestly, slay. Yeah, that's really great advice. For those of you in the know, we moved from Vegas up to the PNW, up to Washington State, and I went from having a guitar wall to not being able to hang stuff because we're renting. And so you can't see it on camera, but I'm looking at like a bass, 2 electrics. Just outside that door, I have another electric. Downstairs, I have an acoustic, and they're all on guitar stands. And I purposely did that, spread through the house so that when the impetus hits me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I need to touch music. I have an electronic drum set right here, and my mixing board is it's right back here behind this laptop. And so I actually part of my merch line it says make music, not excuses, because I found myself sitting in front of a guitar wall and and piano and all this, and never turning around. I was so busy editing, and I've really scaled back video output because it was starting to affect my creativity. That wasn't what you are seeing right now, and it's just because I'm not out performing anymore doesn't mean that I'm not still a performer by nature and wanting to at least make music happen a little bit. So there you go. I'm off the soapbox. But with that, a couple more questions. Like I said, then we're going to see that music video for what was the name?
Me, myself, and
Lies. Yeah. Me, myself, and lies. Lies.
lies indeed.
Lies. Okay,
Lies.
cool.
We're
All
not
right.
lying.
Because the worst lies we tell are to ourselves. The more you know. Anyway,
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, right. So, from there, how long have you guys been the new hires? This particular lineup?
So this lineup would have been since August of 2024.
Okay, but the band was incepted. The inception of the band was 21.
It would have been 2019 in theory. The idea of the new hires would have started in 2019, December 30th, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I
wasn't there.
No, it was because for a lot of like quick history, a lot of us have been playing together for years in and out of bands, and on I think December 30th, Phil and I hung out really quickly, and we're just kind of like wanting to get back into it and wanting to find band members, and we tried it a couple times, and when you find people that you mesh with well enough, but just the music doesn't come out the way that you want it to. And so we started trying to push something together, and then we found Aiden on Kijiji. And then just the barrel just started rolling from there, and then
COVID hit.
Yeah, COVID hit. That was a bit of a
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
it was
COVID.
actually kind of advantageous. It it stunk for all musicians, but we couldn't meet up. But we just spent 2 years writing, pretty much, and
Right on.
I think we have like a Google Drive. I don't know, 100 songs or 100 ideas at least.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I've got to get back to work on is just shit. What's it? Shedding. Just like sitting down and just not censoring, not filtering yourself, and just get it all written out, get it all figured out, and then go through and actually say what actually makes me happy, so that hopefully other people like it. Awesome. By the way, we're talking about all this upcoming stuff. Make sure you check out their social media links down below. You'll hopefully follow them, like them, become their friend, tell them Room 6 sent you, and hopefully you'll see them live when they come to see you. Any plans to come to the States?
We'd love to, but I think logistics wise right now it's a little bit complicated, and like the big thing for us too is we're still small enough that we're cutting our teeth in our own area,
Right.
and we're getting to know that spot. So I think like the dream would be to do a big tour. We just got to get there one step at a time.
Well, if you end up in the PNW, let me know. I'll definitely be at the show and I'll do a review of
We'll
it.
most likely need 2 couches,
Bottled water, red M&Ms. Yeah.
Red M&Ms. Ooh.
He likes to stay up late.
Green's too sexy. So.
Sorry, only brown M&Ms here. Hey.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. You made it. Yay. And again, you OG Room Sixers know what's coming. I always ask this of all my prey. We're going to circle back to that earliest musical influence, and we're going to talk to little you. Okay, we're going to talk to the you that said, I want to do that. What is one thing that you wish you could hop in a time machine and go back and say, hey, you're going to need to know this. And don't say change your strings.
Oh, man.
Change your strings.
And honestly, it could be a warning. It could be a hang in there. It can be a, take this left instead of this right or something.
I would say the big piece of advice I'd give to young me and just kind of seeing how scenes have evolved around us in Ottawa, it's just show up. Generally, I think a lot more comes from just showing up, making friends, and being involved in your local scene as a musician. Um, it's great to play as many shows as you want, but sometimes it's just even better to make friends and go to their shows and kind of share those moments. So I think that's the most important thing I would say to myself. Just if you truly love it, go get immersed, dive in.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I would say it kind of ties into that, but like, yeah, talking to younger me would just be like, music is supposed to be fun, so like, don't overthink it. Like, go collaborate with people. Don't stop because you think that someone is better or worse than you, but it's just kind of like, um, you know, co-writing or just jamming and just like, no matter what level you are at, like musicians that are quote unquote better than you or whatever are just generally happy to like hope that you can learn as much from them as they can learn from you, kind of thing. So like, yeah, I think that's like the best thing is learning is for me is I think co-writing is like the most valuable and rewarding. And as a kid, it's kind of like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough or whatever. But it's like just go in there and like have fun. Music's about having fun. There's no such thing as bad wine. It's wine that you like. It's kind of the same thing. So
Definitely. The rules apply to whiskey as well.
yeah.
For me, this is a really good question.
Thanks.
Yeah, room 6 that knows what's up. I would say, I don't know, practice more. It'd be nice if I was better at guitar, but yeah, like the hardest thing about running, I'm have done quite a lot of running in my life, and the hardest part about it is just putting on your shoes. And the hardest part about guitar is practicing. And the hardest part in life is just doing the thing that you don't want to do, that takes a lot of time and is repetitive and boring. But doing that pays. It's worth the pain. It's worth your fingers hurting or whatever, or like it's worth the complaining, because it can take you pretty, like it takes you to places where I would have never expected to play in this band. And I don't think if I had spent more time, I'd probably be in a better band. But
Wow.
And we are now with the new fires.
Dang.
You took mine, Aiden.
get it your head. But yeah.
Is that everybody?
I guess something on the line of um, like don't think about it too much in a way of like other people are just as much like when you're like, no, I'm not going to do this because I don't want people to like judge me about it, kind of thing like that. It's like that's what everybody's thinking, so just do what you want to do and like screw them, kind of thing. It doesn't really matter in the end.
Quit your job, join a rock band.
Exactly. Don't get a job first place.
Yeah. I think for me, I spent the first however many years of my music making life making music with the same, like a very kind of close crew of friends and my uncle, and I love them dearly, love playing music with them dearly, but COVID shook some things up for me and was pretty rough because I couldn't play with them anymore. And at a certain point, I came to the realization that there were other people that kind of I was able to speak that same language with and kind of musically bond with and trust, and that's been super rewarding and took a lot to step out of my comfort zone in that way. So yeah, I think I would have probably felt more confident to branch out sooner. That would be mine.
I couldn't say it any better. Some really good advice in there. And definitely, you know what? If you have some really good advice, especially for like the new musicians out there, throw it in the comments. I'd love to read it. Other than that, stick around. We're going to see that music video snippet, and then we'll catch you in the outro. Other than that, we'll temporarily say goodbye. See you in a minute.
hoped you'd remember. I was in the other room, blending in with plants and other shadows that linger by the door, wondering where you went. Judged by all of the picture frames, strangers who don't care for my name, a house of would-be lovers. Yet I can't find the guts to say a thing. Ain't this amusing? Talking to the walls, they're gonna find me out. They're gonna see me drown. And it feels like I'm just losing myself, biting my tongue not to talk out of time, wasting nights with me, myself, and lies. Can't sink much deeper into this couch, this room. The weight of glaze starts looming through hazy lights. The butterflies spill out of my stomach and ruin my clothes, my hair, all the facades alike. To wear another house feeling stranger, and I can't find the right words to say. Face, ain't this amusing? Talking to the walls, they're gonna find me out. They're gonna see me drown. And it feels like I'm just losing myself, biting my tongue not to talk out of time, wasting nights with me, myself, and lies. Just me, myself, and lies. Oh, me, myself, and lies. Oh, lies. They're gonna find me out. They're gonna see me drown. And it feels like I'm just losing myself, biting my tongue out to talk out of time, wasting nights with me, myself, and lies.
I want to thank the new hires for coming on the channel. It was a great interview and an awesome music video. If you want to know more about them, hit those social media links down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, click up here. If you want to subscribe, click over there. Ring the bell if you want, or not. And if you want to hear my own music, click over there. Remember to be amazing, and we'll see you next time on Room 6. Say goodbye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.